Hello everyone, welcome back to the SMITE Comprehensive Guide to Jungling. This is the Guide to Jungle Bacchus, as requested very specifically by, if only I have the name written down right here, by Miles Horton. Now, one of the issues Bacchus has as a jungler, you all already know, movement speed. He's slower than an assassin. He's going to have a hard time farming as fast as your average jungler is. You all know this. There are solutions to this, but the early game is going to be rough. The second problem Bacchus has, which is very unique to Bacchus, very specific to Bacchus, is the mana. In order for Bacchus to be as effective as he should be, he needs to be drinking. Drinking costs mana. As a result, I have something attached to my mouse here. That's weird. But anyways, as a result, we are going to need some kind of legitimate solution to mana. And there is a rather specific build that I've discovered through testing the past couple of days that helps a lot with this. And I will explain why I'm building these items as I'm building them. But you're gonna have to bear with me. Alright, this gets fairly interesting very quickly. Now, I'm not going to build even remotely hybrid, and as much as I've pointed out the flaws of Bacchus Jungle, he does have one advantage that his contemporaries really don't have, which is, despite the fact that I'm not building tanky, he still has a higher baseline protections than assassins do, so he still is going to be just a little bit tankier than the average assassin is. Which is nice. So this is going to come in handy, particularly in the early game, where it's going to make quite a difference, you'll actually find, in terms of just the ability to deal with whatever issues. Now, very specifically, which one you want to go for is totally up to you. I go for the Belch because it's got a little bit of a faster cooldown, and we're going to go for Boomba's Dagger. You don't really go for Eye of the Jungle because, in all honesty, you don't need the attack speed. You really don't want to use auto attacks as a... That's an interesting comp. As a jungling magic anything, really, unless you have auto attack kit, which he does not. And the first thing we're going to go for is Charon's Coin. Now, this does give us some very unusual options here, but we're actually going to very specifically be building Hog. Now, this is not because we are... Oh, wait, hold on. It's actually pretty important we drink twice before we leave Fountain. 2 drinks exactly, because this is going to actually give us a stun on the Belch if we need it. So we're going to just drink twice, and we're going to walk right on in there. And now you're drinking twice from the fountain, obviously, so that you can restore your mana fully before you even head off, so you're actually not at any kind of serious disadvantage. We don't want to drink 3 times, because that's going to put us into the drunk territory, or the smash territory, excuse me. And that's not what we want for this. So you're going to save the Hog for the damage buff, and the reason why is extremely specifically because of how long the cooldown is on Belch. I discovered through testing that belching at the damage camp ends up with you not having it available for the wave. So you don't want to belch there. Now you're going to drink really early there because you do very specifically want that you want to be tipsy, not smashed when you enter lane. I did it slightly too late, but we're good enough here. We're just going to go on ahead and do this. We're going to pull all this nice minion aggro here, which again we can carry particularly well because we are a little tankier than the average. I completely whiffed that, so we're just going to head back out of here. I'm going to go for one of my buffs back here. Now, I picked the multi-potions because... 2 reasons. One is, as a tankier jungler, I don't need the healing as much. And as Bacchus specifically, I need the mana more. So, the multi-potions I've found through testing just work a little bit better overall compared to dedicating myself to either one or the other. Oh my goodness, he completely whiffed that. Okay. Oh, he blinked on me. Ah, so close. So close. That's unfortunate. But not crippling. Because the reason why it's not crippling is, although it is Camazotz, so he'll still be able to make some recovery from this, but he does have the advantage of, well, I at least got him low enough where he has to now really think about what he's going to do. He won't be able to necessarily just go from that kill into just anything immediately. Alright. Now, the first thing we're going to go for is Charon's Coin. There are two specific reasons that's our first item. The first reason, I'm a little early on this, the first reason is the movement speed, obviously, and you probably predicted that. The second reason is, right off the top, it gives you a really nice boost to your MP5, which will really help Bacchus in his mana management that he needs throughout the match. So that's going to really help in that specific regard. And that's something that I really want in general. Okay, is he going to make this? Yes. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to go on ahead and clear my speed camp here. Okay. Keep an eye on Merlin. Keep an eye on the left lane. I think Camazotz might be heading over there. No, I wanted... There we go. I did not intend to drink there. I'll be careful. We're fine. Okay. Is this up? No. Not too surprised. Good. Clear this, and then we're going to go find out where the hell our pal went. Now, I'm just poking him down at this point. My goal there was not to kill him. I didn't think I was going to. There was the slim possibility, but honestly, at this point, it's too early. Now, what I am fairly interested in is that a legitimate... No, that's not. Just clear this really quick then. Trading the HP for some mana here. Good. Alright, that was interesting. That's going to give me an interesting opportunity to farm. Now, dying is particularly bad for Camazotz because he is all about that sustain. So the fact that he died there is actually really bad for him. More than usual. Because his main form of literally just out-farming his opponent, like I mentioned in the previous episode, is just outlasting the opposition. You literally just ignored me here. This should be interesting. No, I want it. Thank you. No. Thank you. Okay, I did get this slow. Now, I'm, again, just trying to poke him out here. Oh, she's going ham on this. Okay, we're good? We're good? We're fine. No. I don't want to tangle with a freshly rejuvenated Gilgamesh. That's not something I want in my life. Thank you. I will take the assist, and I will go. You need any help over here? Nope, you did not. We're actually in a position to get Charon's Coin pretty soon, though, so that's going to be really nice. I'll probably head back and grab that and then grab my speed afterwards. Since I don't particularly feel like dying to harpies. Grab Charon's Coin for our MP5 and our move speed over time. Okay, that's good. Now, what is the next item that we're going to be building as Bacchus? The answer will surprise you, probably. Polynomicon. Polynomicon is really strong on Bacchus because Bacchus has a lot of things that increases his magical power. Frankly, his ult, his passive, and every time he drinks, he gets a boost in his power. Since Polynomicon adds 75% of your power to your next auto attack, this actually means, that was actually a huge kill for me, by the way, that actually means that Polynomicon does a abnormally large amount of damage with Bacchus specifically, and considering Bacchus has two ways of locking down an enemy, his belly flop has a pop-up, and of course his belch has a stun, this actually means that, I should be covering mid, this actually means that you are almost guaranteed 2 poly hits every time you use your whole kit, basically, is what this means. So it's abnormally useful on Bacchus, of all people, which you wouldn't expect, but it is absolutely a fantastic damage source that really helps Jungle Bacchus to do the damage that he needs to be doing as a jungler. Gobrakan was too far up there, honestly. I'm expecting them to dive this. But wait, here comes Merlin. Shoot. Nope. He bamboozled me. Good. Did he whiff? He completely whiffed. Alright, that's fine. That's not really any concern of mine. Tribus is doing okay. Could be doing a little bit better. Gobrakan's going to go reinforce Merlin. I'm going to clear my camp here. And we're going to keep an eye on Bologna over there. She's doing really well right now, so I'm not actually that concerned. I just want to make sure... Okay, she did just get ganked. Alright. She's fine for now. I'm going to want to stop them from taking the mana buff. Yeah, how's that going for you? You might have taken the blue buff, but you're in for a world of hurt there. Good. Excellent. Good, 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 good. Why are we retreating? Osiris is there. I don't know why I should be concerned about this. We totally have him. I need to go back, though. Ah, shoot. I got arrogant there. That was a lazy back. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was all on me. That was a stupid thing to do. I really shouldn't have tried that. Ah, I could have caught up to Camazotz if I hadn't done that like an idiot, too, because I'm pretty sure he got the kill for me, too. I was so stupid. Oh, the arrogance. Ah, well. My hubris is my downfall. But we should be able to recover. It'll take a bit of work. It'll take a lot of work, actually. Actually, can we gank? Nah, he's not dedicating himself to that. We also have people here to help out with this drop, so they can grab that. This is gone and has been for ages. Where did Hoyi go? There he is. Nope, I can't do anything with you, but I will take your jungle camp, because right now what I'm looking to do is rotate around to this little fiesta we have going on here. And he somehow kills her over there. We have Camazotz. Nice. Get stunned. Okay. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Oh, we're... Okay, good. That's fine. They're just going to take that, and then we increase our ult, because that's our biggest source of damage. There we go. That was huge for me. We need to get out of here. Please leave us alone. Alright. Sure. Are they actually paying enough attention for this? Yes, they are. I'm in trouble. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I'm gonna die. Yeah. That's okay. Did we get the... Did we get the... Oh, that was... Was that worth it? Depends on if Merlin can pick up anything after the fact. I don't think that was worth it. At this point, by the way, now that we're, here, now that we've got Polynomicon, our next item is going to very specifically be Kronos' Pendant. This is going to be what we need next for the cooldowns. We need it for the MP5. We need this for a couple of very specific reasons, but it is the next item you're going to want to pick up here. And then, yeah, they're absolutely correct. I'm going to need to go over to the left lane pretty soon. Well. He whiffed that. I don't care. And I'm going to assume Merlin has that. I'm kind of concerned about the, yeah. Boom. What? Ah. So close. I should have gotten that Hou Yi, to be honest. I'm not sure how I technically missed that. That's some shady timing. That's some weird timing. Anyways, we were really close there. But yeah, we rotated it appropriately there as soon as we could. Bellona is pretty far up, but quite frankly, she's so far ahead of Gilgamesh that I really don't think it matters. Gilgamesh is also dead, so even if she gets ganked, it's not really going to be that much of a problem even then, so I can understand why she's that far up. And now what we're going to do is just keep on trying to farm at this point. We are somehow keeping up with Chemizots, despite Chemizots doing a little bit better than us. If I had to take a guess, I'd have to say, who knows? I honestly don't have a logical explanation for you, other than that he has not been playing as well as maybe he would want to. I'm not sure why he's here, of all places. He's getting very arrogant. He did not have the kind of levels to do that. I'm not sure why he was there. Alright. That's fine. I'm okay. Bellona might not be, but I'm okay. I'm really not sure what we're doing here. What are we fighting for, okay? We are not fighting for anything in particular here. I get absolutely massacred by Zhong Kui every time. I cannot get away from this guy. Bellona's just wandering around all over the place doing whatever she wants. Granted, she's level 16, so that makes some sense, but it's definitely insane. Yeah, see, once she killed those people, she needed to get out of there. We're overstaying a lot of the time. This is a consistent problem I've noticed this year. Including with myself, I am by no means innocent of this, but I've noticed that this year a lot of players are really overstaying of the fights. Yeah, even Gabrakan is pointing this out. I mean, we're just way overstaying the fights. Now, are we actually going to defend? Okay, yeah, it looks like there's an actual fiasco going on over there. We're going to be fighting. Okay, this is actually a fight we care about, because we're going to be fighting for Gold Fury right now. Okay, they just got it, but can we turn this around? Okay, yes. Good. Excellent. Just grab this here golden experience. That's good. Go for my speed buff because there's nothing going on right now, so I don't see anything else happening that I'll need to go to. I'm not anticipating any ganks at this point. Grab that. Good. Alright. It looks like possibly we're going to see a gank on Charybdis pretty soon. I want to be there for that. Cabrakan already anticipates this. I think there's more people over there than Cabrakan can handle. We have Ho Yi there. And I think there was somebody else over there. There's Ho Yi. I really do anticipate this being a gank. Yeah, there's Zonkui. Again with that interesting timing. Good play, good play. Shoot. Yeah, I was going to die to... There was no way I was getting away from Zonkui, but at least I have Chronos Pendant, and now we're going to grab our... They have enough crowd control where I think I want Puri. I was going to get Blink originally, but they have too much crowd control for that. She's going to absolutely slap down Camazotz, which is actually really good. Again, he keeps going for these ganks, and he keeps dying to them, and this is really setting him back. Now, for Bacchus, me getting assists is good enough, because, again, I am a gank jungler, but Camazotz is designed for that sustain. That is, sustaining in jungle is kind of what he does, and that's why I'm pulling ahead here, is because he's not really sustaining. He's not that much faster than me. He's barely faster than me. Actually, now that I've fully stacked Charon's Coin, there's a decent chance that I am, in fact, probably baseline faster than him. It's not going to show me here. I'll have to check at the victory screen. But, yeah, he's... Out of all the assassins, I think Camazotz is... He's just got baseline assassin speed, and he's got no way of increasing that. Why is Merlin there? Oh, that's why. He's kicking. Yeah, everyone over. Okay, we have Bologna here. And I think we can do something with this. Okay, good. Excellent. Polynomicon. You can see the damage I was doing with Poly there. Very beautiful. Now we're going to want to back out of this. We're going to grab this for just the golden experience, obviously. Oh, alright. We're going to attack left lane? That's fine. I shouldn't really be participating in this. I should be clearing camps. But okay. Will participate. Get that Polynomicon damage in there, because Polynomicon does absolutely work on towers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clear the oracles here. This is to get me back in better fighting shape. There we go. Can we clear these? Yes, alright. Good. I don't really want to fight him. How did I survive that? I didn't. I was going to say, I should not have survived that. It's because I didn't. Oh, the enemy team has surrendered. Alright. This is not the only Bacchus game. I'll be recording another Bacchus jungle episode, but I want to actually take a moment to talk about very specifically what you saw so far. I don't mind making this a two-part Bacchus series, because I think Bacchus deserves it. Just because of the uniqueness of the situation here, the uniqueness of Bacchus. And now that you've at least seen Bacchus in action in the jungle role, and granted, neither jungler did particularly well. Camazotz and I did approximately the same. I did slightly worse, but not by that much. But the really interesting portion of this is Bacchus has the damage to gank. That's not the issue with Bacchus. The Bacchus's problem is, as you saw, his sustain, which we were able to work around. As you can see, I never fully ran out of mana during too many of the important moments. I think I ran out of mana once or twice. And there are ways, like I said, you can adapt around that. Multi-potions instead of health potions, Boombas. Charon's Coin is your first item, which serves two purposes, of course, as we discussed earlier. Charon's Coin serves two purposes for Bacchus, but overall, Bacchus really does have the ability to bring that damage to bear. for ganks. As you could see, I wasn't really having a problem dealing the damage. My problem was just kind of surviving, because unfortunately, before Bacchus can start working on his cooldowns in the form of Chronos Pendant, you really need to get yourself the move speed and the MP5 first, and then the damage afterwards. You might wonder to yourself, Professor, why didn't you build Chronos Pendant as your third item instead of Polynomicon? The primary reason why, and I've discovered this through personal testing, is that if you build Chronos Pendant as your third item, there are two problems with this. One, Chronos Pendant is 2,700 gold, which is very expensive for the early game, okay? Very, very expensive. 2,700 is a lot of gold that early in the match. So you stay weaker for longer. Okay? That's the first problem. The second problem is even with that cooldowns, without Polynomicon to give you a bit of lifesteal for healing and that extra damage spike by using your basic attack between every ability, your damage is still kind of low. Keep in mind, Bacchus's scaling isn't that high, so your damage output isn't really going to come from the scaling that much. This is actually why Polynomicon is so important for Jungle Bacchus. It's one of the primary ways in which you're doing damage, because that is 75% of your magic power being provided to your next attack. Add in the baseline 20% magic power, and yes, 95% of your magic power is going to your next auto attack every time you use an ability, which is great for Bacchus, because he's got, like I said before, 3 different ways that he's boosting his power in every match. His first method is, of course, his passive, the Drunkometer. You get 10 magic power or 30 magic power depending on how smashed you are, right? Now, for his abilities, you should typically be tipsy, which is why I was kind of managing the Drunkometer over there. But this is a power boost. This is the smallest power boost, because Chug gives him 35 power, and Intoxicate gives him 60, okay? All of these are going almost 100% into Polynomicon auto attacks. And as you can expect, that's pretty beefy, especially in the late game. Besides the fact, although I say his scaling isn't very high, Belch is probably his hands-down weakest there. Despite that, it's an absolute fact that his scaling is higher than average for Guardians. Actually, Bellyflop has out-and-out high scaling, regardless of where you look. Ult's scaling is a little lower than I'd like it to be. I would have preferred to see this also at 70%, personally, but in Belch of the Gods, of course, only has 15%, and Chug does not do damage. So, that's what we're talking about here. That is why Polynomicon is so important for jungling Bacchus. It's so important that you have that. Now, what you're going to see in the next episode, because next episode is, I absolutely am sure, is going to be a full episode. I'm not just going to leave Bacchus like this. Is after you get Polynomicon, after you get Chronos Pendant, your very next move, there we go. Your very next move is, in fact, going to be Rod of Tahuti. Again, this kind of goes into the 25% additional magic power being attributed to your abilities and your attacks against targets below 50% health, and that penetration as well, but that's primarily what we're looking at there, right? If we get into the real weeds of this, I'm going to have to do this. No, it's not letting me do this at all, because the God Builder is weird about this kind of thing. But if we go on ahead into this, is it going to not show me? We're not going to talk about the glyphs here? You're not going to let me talk about the glyphs. They used to do that. Alright, well, I'll have to talk about the glyphs in a match. That's kind of annoying. But the Rod of Tahuti is also going to be our glyph item as well. But that's going to be also equally powerful. You're going to be very surprised by the amount of damage Bacchus outputs once you build Rod of Tahuti. Again, this is our 5th item. Your item order should be Boomba's Dagger, Charon's Coin for the move and the MP5. Very specifically those 2 reasons. Your 3rd item should be Polynomicon for the damage, the power spike that comes from its passive. Alright, that is your third item. Your fourth item is Charon's coin. Chronos Pendant for primarily the cooldown and the passive and the MP5. Your fifth item. Now I said Rod of Tahuti earlier. This was me rushing things slightly. You actually have to make a choice. Doom Orb or Rod of Tahuti. Whichever one you don't build fifth, you're building sixth. Because you do need the move speed from Doom Orb to do your job in the late game as a jungler, because you're going to be needing to run down enemies and finish them off if that becomes necessary, and Doom Orb is really helpful for that. Doom Orb also provides you with an absolutely huge magic power spike, which is really important for Rod of Tahuti and Polynomicon, but which one of these you build as your fifth and which one you build as your sixth really depends upon the enemy team composition. Against tankier comps, I will build Rod of Tahuti as the fifth item. Against squishier comps, Doom Orb makes more sense at the fifth item, because you don't really need the penetration as much. Right? So, at the end of the match, once you have all four of these, Doom Orb, Rod, Pendant, Coin, once you have all four of those and Poly, and you've got your Boomba's Dagger, and you've evolved Boomba's Dagger into... You actually have a choice here. I'm going to be really honest. If only it would actually show me... Why aren't you... It's having such a problem today. Alright, can we talk about Boomba's Dagger, please? There we go. Now, you actually have some interesting options here. I have a personal preference for Boomba's Spear. I like Boomba's Spear for a couple of reasons, but I will build Boomba's Hammer. Again, this does pretty heavily depend upon the enemy composition. If it's a tankier composition, I go for Boomba's Spear. Not only do you get 10% penetration from Boomba's Spear, but you get a 10% power buff and 35 more power out of Boomba's Spear, which really goes that little extra distance against tankier compositions. Against squishier compositions, I'm going to bust out Boomba's Hammer, because the 70 true damage on your next basic attack is fairly impressive, and the healing, although it's only a flat 100 health, it really does make a substantial difference, and even the small amount of 150 health against damage comps does really help you out a lot. So Bacchus picks one of these two depending on how tanky the enemy team composition is, but both of them will get him to that 30% cooldown reduction, and you don't need Boomba's Spear really for the penetration unless they are really tanky, because you already have 30% penetration, so it's not like you need 40% pen every time. Obviously, that's complete nonsense. But you have that option. So basically, at the end of the game, you have to figure out, okay, how tanky are the enemy? And then make your decision based on that. Squishy Hammer, tanky Spear. So I don't mind that the enemy team surrendered this match, because you got to some extent, see some of the flaws of Bacchus, namely his farming, and you can see the potential here, but I wanted to more specifically talk about the build and his abilities and how they interact, because this way, when I go for the full match, I don't have to reintroduce that. We can just talk about more of the strategy of Bacchus. Alright, so this episode, you'll definitely see this is more about his build and how his abilities really contribute to jungling. And then we're going to do another episode after this on Bacchus full match, and we're going to talk about the late game with Bacchus and how you pull that together. So, with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this. Thank you all very much for joining me. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, or requests, please leave them down in the comment section below. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.